Hi, my name is Kazim Adegboyega and this is Module 8 of the NCTA Cloud Technologies course. And here in this module, we're going to be looking at selecting SaaS solution for small businesses. You see, SaaS solution is fast becoming popular with small businesses today. Now, the reason for this is because of the low cost of entry, for some of the SaaS solution as compared, with an on-prem solution where you need to have an initial upfront capital investment, to get those solutions deployed in your environment. So many of these SaaS solution comes with pay-as-you-go billing, and they are also very scalable. And there are a number of different type of SaaS solution that we can leverage on. Now, a good cloud technologies is expected to be well versed with some of this common type of SaaS solution. And here in this particular module, we're going to be looking at selecting SaaS accounting solution. We'll look at selecting SaaS storage solution, and we'll try to wrap things up with selecting other small businesses SaaS solution. So without any further ado, let's get to work. Accounting software application. Now, there are many accounting applications that we have out there, and many of them offer transaction input and tracking. They help us with check writing and also reporting. Now, these are some of the very popular names I'm sure most of us are familiar with. Sage 50, for instance, has been around for some time. There's Quicken, there's Intuit QuickBook, right? Intuit QuickBooks. So this accounting application have been around for a very long time. But something interesting is the fact that most of these accounting application providers have also started embracing the cloud. They've started migrating some of their accounting application to be cloud-based, right? So to that fact, there are a number of new cloud accounting application that is available to us nowadays, and a very good example will be FreshBooks, right? What makes FreshBooks so unique is the fact that it is cloud-based only. So let's move on to the next slide. This next slide talks about FreshBooks cloud accounting. So FreshBooks cloud accounting is a new approach to doing accounting, right? So not only was it designed to be cloud-based only, but this particular app also does away with most of the accounting jargons. Most accounting solution, for instance, will come with some additional services such as payroll processing, things that you can use to handle payment of your employees. There is payroll, tax calculation and payments, bank transaction download, payment processing, so on and so forth. Although with some of the accounting application providers, some of these additional service offerings, they will come as an add-on. So if you need them, maybe you will need to pay an extra cost to be able to get some of these things. But in the case of in the case of FreshBooks cloud accounting, it can only be used for invoicing. It can be used for time and expense tracking, but it doesn't help us do inventory tracking. So if you need inventory tracking, then I'm afraid you will need to look at some other solution that can help you do inventory tracking. Now, the fact that FreshBooks is cloud-based only, it means that it offers some of the advantages of SaaS offerings, many of these other SaaS solution offerings. Advantages such as no local installation is required, right? So once you subscribe to FreshBooks cloud accounting, you don't have to worry about installing it on a local computer somewhere on your network, to have to work for it. So just simply pay for your tenant fee, and you can continue to consume the service, right? So this feature has really made FreshBooks cloud accounting very popular with many small businesses. I think we can let me open a web browser so we can get to see how we can register for FreshBooks. I'll get to show you the URL, and we'll try to have a trial, a feel at FreshBooks. So the URL of FreshBooks is freshbooks.com, right? Alright, so this is their landing page, and as you can see here, we can try it out for free for a period of 30 days. So let's try to do that. And one thing that is interesting is the fact that there's no credit card required, for you to set up this trial account. So I'm going to quickly do this. Alright, so good and good. As you can see, this is how easy it is to set up an account with FreshBooks. So I'm going to quickly put in my name, Kazim, last name, the icons, so I'll choose my industry, and you get the picture here. The essence of this demo is not to walk you through how to use an accounting application. Myself, I'm not an accounting expert, but as a cloud technologies, is going to be our duty. The onus is going to be on us to recommend an accounting solution for our organization that fits into our budget, an accounting solution that we're sure is going to be very stable, right? So that's the essence here, and FreshBooks is that accounting application that can give you what you need. So in your spare time, so you can try to complete this registration process, and then look at some of the features that FreshBooks offers to you. So here are some guidelines for you for selecting a SaaS accounting application. Because you are trusting an accounting vendor, with your very sensitive information. I mean, financial information for most organizations are considered to be very sensitive, right? So you want to make sure that you go with a vendor that has a very good track record, right? That you can trust your data with, right? Next, evaluate the features that this provider offers to make sure that it can handle some of the activities, some of the work that you need to get done, right? And use solutions that are geared more towards the size of your business. I mean, you don't want to start with a solution that is so expensive, if you're a small business, and then going with a solution that is going to be so expensive, though it has all of the features, but perhaps maybe some of these features that it comes with, you don't even need them to begin with. So you want to go with a solution or a provider that fits your need at that point in time, and you also want to look at scalability too, right? So if your business grows, does this accounting application, can you also scale it to support your business need at that later time? So those are some of the things you need to look at. So once you've decided the software that fits your need, then you need to take a look at the service level agreement, right? So a good example is what happens if your data, if you choose not to use the software anymore. So is your data still safe? How easy is it for you to migrate your data, from that platform to another platform. Consider paying for annual plans, right? So if you choose to pay annually, sometimes you happen to get some rebates, right? Some discounts from some of these providers as opposed to paying monthly, right? Then you might also need to look for third-party support option, in the ecosystem for the SaaS offerings. Ecosystem, we'll talk a bit more, about it later in our previous modules. I'm sure we've discussed about ecosystem. A good example that I gave back then is Google. So if you have a Gmail account, let's say, you will notice that with your one Gmail account, you can do things such as log in to YouTube and have a YouTube channel, upload videos. You can look at creating forms using Google Forms, with that your one account. So you can look at having Google Charts, you can leverage on Google's Health, right? So all those additional services are all within the ecosystem of Google, right? So that is what an ecosystem means in a nutshell. Next, let's look at online storage solution. You see, traditionally businesses are used to storing their information on a local drive, or better still on a shared volume, right? So with the advent of cloud data centers, we now have new options, new ways of saving information. So here we're going to see how to select a SaaS storage solution. So the cloud storage is initially targeted at individual users, individuals that might have need for very big storage space, to put up their pictures, their videos. If they want to store video images, then they can upload it to an online storage account, right? But as the industry, this online cloud storage industry grew, then it has now quickly become very heavily used, for file sharing and collaboration. And as you can see here in my slide, these are a number of very popular online storage solution providers. We have OneDrive from Microsoft, there's Dropbox, there's Google Drive from Google, there's Amazon S3, from Amazon. There's also Box, there's also Rackspace Cloud Files, right? Now you might be wondering, what issues do we have associated with the traditional ways of storing our files? Part of the issues that people have, part of the challenges, is the fact that data on your personal computer, when you choose to save data on a personal computer, on a local drive, you may not be able to back up that particular data. Imagine in an enterprise environment, when your users save maybe company's data, company's information on their desktop, let's say, or on their My Document folder. When you're doing your backup, your central backup, it might be difficult, right, for you to look up in those locations. It might be very difficult for you to back up everything. You just want to focus on a particular folder or on a particular drive that your backup solution is going to back up to or back up from. Although yes, you might argue that there are workarounds that we can use to mitigate some of those challenges. One of the workaround might be for you to configure folder redirection if you're running a domain-based environment. But what happens if you're not running a domain-based network, or what happens if you don't have the skill set to do some of these things, right? So another challenge that people face with the traditional way of storing information is the fact that when I have a document up on a file server on my local computer on a network drive, and users want to have access to that file, what you end up with is multiple copies of that file. This user is going to download a copy, make changes to it, save it as another file. Another user downloads another copy, make changes to it. So you have so many copies of the same files flying all over the place on the network. So some of these challenges is what online storage solution has come to mitigate, right? So some of the benefit that we get by using online storage solution include: one, cost, right? So you don't have to worry yourself about purchasing external backup drives, having a storage infrastructure or a backup tapes, in place. So you simply know that once I pay my cost, once I pay my fee, right? So the storage space is there for me to tap into, so I don't have to invest on setting up SAN storage, right? Another advantage that it gives you is physical space. So if you're looking to have a SAN, you're looking to have a NAS, a NAS storage system, so you need some space, to physically put those devices, those your storage servers, right? But in the cloud, you simply, all you need is internet access to hook onto the cloud, right? Another advantage that it gives you is security. So if you want to upload your files up to the cloud, or you need to download it from the cloud, then it comes with encryption. So you can have those encryption turned on, so that while your file transfer process is on, people don't do man in the middle. People don't try to hijack those files while you're copying them to the internet or from the internet. Another advantage that you tend to get with online storage solution is synchronization, right? So you have the ability to synchronize your files across different kind of devices. So I can download, in fact, let me show you this. A good example will be my OneDrive for Business. So I'll quickly log into my Hotmail account. Right, so as you can see here, clicking on this waffle button is I'm trying to get to my OneDrive here. Where's the OneDrive? OneDrive for Business. Okay, here, OneDrive. So clicking on OneDrive takes me to my OneDrive on Hotmail. I bet a number of people don't know that they have OneDrive free of charge with their live account. So if you have your Hotmail account, your Outlook account, it comes with 1 terabyte of OneDrive space, for you to leverage on. Good. So these are some of the files that I have up on OneDrive. So you see, the beauty here is that even if I don't have internet connectivity, I can choose to copy. If I want my files to be transferred to the internet, once to be transferred up to my OneDrive account once internet connectivity is restored, then what I need to do is to download a copy, an offline copy of OneDrive, which I have on my computer, by the way. So if I click here to, let me open the folder. As you can see, I've installed OneDrive on my computer, and this is OneDrive here. So if I need, let's say I don't have internet access at the moment, and there's an important file that I need to save up in OneDrive. So what I can do is to copy the file locally, to this my directory. You can see this is local to my system, right? So once internet connection is restored, then there's going to be a sync, right? So those files are going to be synced up to my OneDrive that I have on the internet. And at the same time too, if I have a file on the internet, those files are also going to be downloaded to this location on my local computer. So you have this sync service, with your with most online storage solution. I'm sure the case is the same also for Google Drive and Dropbox, right? Good. So another advantage that you can leverage on is collaboration, right? So both inside and outside the organization, multiple people can have access to the file. and they can edit it on the go, right? For instance, if I need to edit my OneDrive, so I don't even need to have Office installed on my computer, to edit a Word document within my OneDrive. So you simply can open it using Outlook on the web, right? So if I need to open my mail or some of those your OWA application, maybe Excel online, Word online, so on and so forth. So now these are some of the advantages that online storage solution offers to you. Next, let's take a look at GitHub, right? GitHub is a version control software, right? Traditionally, we have ways of doing version control with some of our files, right? There are some traditional softwares that helps us handle version control. A good example of such software will include SharePoint, GitHub, CloudForge, so on and so forth. So if you need to do version control, you have a document but you want to have multiple versions of that same document. I have one document and I want to view how the content of that document as at last 2 months ago, as at last 3 months ago. So the way to do that is getting a version control software that you can leverage on. So you can do that pretty easily when you have a solution such as SharePoint in place. So you can turn on versioning in SharePoint to be able to do that. So GitHub also helps us with something similar, right? So GitHub, the URL for GitHub is github.com, by the way, so you can learn more by going to their URL. So it is an online storage, collaboration and version control solution that is targeted at developers or organization that is into application development, right? So with GitHub, you can collaborate with developers and then send them some kind of pull request, to tell them or to tell your other users about changes that you've made to your files, in your repository, so that they can download those changes as well. So GitHub repositories can be accessed through the web browser, or you can even access it via the command line. So if you're pretty good with the GitHub command line syntaxes, so you can do something similar, just like you do with FTP. So there's a browser version of FTP. So if you like to use the GUI interface, or if you like to do command line, there's also a command line version of FTP too. So where you type those FTP commands. So next, let's take a look at some of the guidelines for selecting a SaaS storage solution. Before moving your data to the cloud, you need to decide what data you really want to move to the cloud, right? We mentioned this earlier, right? So it is not every data that makes good candidates, to migrate into the cloud. So if those information are really very sensitive, then maybe you want to keep those information on-prem. So make sure that you do your analysis right, and decide if this information you can afford to put it in the cloud. If there are no maybe regulation restriction for moving information to the cloud. For instance, some banks, we have some regulatory requirements not to move some information to the cloud or some of their line of business applications to the cloud. So just make sure that you've studied that correctly and you have it well analyzed. Next, you need to choose a provider whose tool and solution integrate with other productivity tools, or other developmental softwares. A good example would be O365. Within the O365 platform, there's OneDrive for Business, and there are some other services within the O365 environment as well. So you will notice that there is a very good synergy between O365 and OneDrive for Business. So if you need to reference OneDrive from within SharePoint, it is a piece of cake. So if you need to reference it from your email exchange, it's very easy to do, so on and so forth. So just make sure that you look that up. Next is backing up, right? So you need to have say a weekly or monthly backup process in place where you are backing up the content of what you have online on-prem, right? So because the responsibility really is not for your ISP. Yes, maybe during your service level agreement, when you're looking through the service level agreement, you can try to raise questions such as, is the cloud provider going to be responsible for taking backups for you? So usually they don't, but you can get them to commit into taking those backups for you, right? So nonetheless, you want to have another backup copy of your information just in case anything goes wrong. And then when comparing online storage solution, you also want to look at cost scaling, right? So make sure that you've done the math and you're going with a provider that is giving you a very good value for your money, right? So also look at backup and recovery documented in the service level agreement, right? So if things go wrong, if there is a disaster, in cases of disaster, how soon can you be back up, right? Well, you can argue that that's one of the benefits of the cloud, right? Many of these cloud providers, they have their data centers all around the world, right? So the chances of all of their data centers going down at the same time is very slim. But the data center sure can go down. So if it does go down, if one data center goes down, if there's disaster, there's loss of service, how soon can you be restored back to working operation? You get the picture. And finally, you want to look at things such as security too as well. So do you have some access control, file encryption built into that particular cloud storage solution that you're going with, right? So I've given you some examples here. There are also some other examples. For instance, you can look at up in Windows Azure, you can look at just going with Azure storage. Maybe that's the only services on Windows Azure platform that you're consuming, right? Let me show that to you real quick. I'm going to quickly log into my Azure account. Azure. Alright, so it's trying to load the Azure portal, the portal's landing page. And good. So this is the Windows Azure landing page. This is what the dashboard looks like. So if I need to create a storage up on Azure, the first thing I will need to do is to create a storage account, right? So I can come to new, sorry, my connectivity is a little slow this morning. Alright, and you can see storage. So if I click on storage, the first thing I'll need to do is to create a storage account. And after creating a storage account, within my storage account, I can then provision my Azure storage depending on the kind of information that I want to store, right? So am I looking to store flat files? Am I looking to store binary large objects? So on and so forth. So the essence here is not to show you how to create Azure storage, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible. You can also do the same up in Amazon, right? Amazon S3, they have a service called S3. So S3 is simply for storage, up on Amazon platform, right? Good and good. So next, let's take a look at other small business SaaS solution. There are a number of business related service and activities that can be better managed with softwares, right? And with the rise of cloud technologies now, business software vendors have started publishing a wide variety of business SaaS solutions, right? So here in this particular objective, in this slide, we're going to be, or in this remaining slides, we're going to be looking at selecting small software solutions, small business software solutions, right? Or SaaS, small business software solutions, right? Good. So there are a number of small business focused SaaS solutions available that covers a wide range of business needs, right? Some of them include group messaging, right? And a very good example will be services from Slack. You probably must have heard of slack.com, or another very popular one is Skype, right? So Skype is sort of replacing, not a total replacement now, but it replaces somewhat the ways that we do email nowadays. It's fast becoming the preferred method for internal communication and collaboration in many companies, in many organizations today. So what you find with Skype or with group messaging is that you tend to be a little bit more relaxed when you're using those group messaging service or softwares. You don't have to worry about composing an email to be in a very formal format. You don't have to worry about error checking, spell checking, so on and so forth. So it gives you that immediacy of response to as well. So you simply type in a message and the person gets it and then can respond to you just about immediately, right? As opposed to an email that the person might not look up the email on time, so on and so forth. So that is one. Another is electronic document signing. So if we need to sign our document in the past, we know the process, right? So you are going to have to scan the document, sign the document first of all, scan the document, and then fax the document to people. But instead of doing that, you simply can leverage on some tools that can help you do this very easily. Services such as DocuSign. So it makes the process a lot more seamless. There's also business management software. In fact, a number of them, right? A number of them. A good one will be 7hats. By the way, you can visit their website, 7hats.com. So 7hats offers this all-in-one business management. It helps you build up your contract, right? From contract to project management to when you want to submit quotes to your customers, time tracking. It helps you with bookkeeping, so on and so forth, right? So apps like this are now becoming very popular with small business and many startup businesses as well. So let's begin with project management software. Project management software is designed to help project managers to plan for projects, right? Which may include project milestone, resource utilization, estimate cost of doing their project, and provide a variety of reports, for them at all the stages of a given project, right? So, but the problem with project management software is the fact that it can be very costly, right? And it might also, most of them are also not very easy to use. They are complex, in terms of their usage, and they also require a long learning curve, right, to use this software, to be able to tap into the full potential of many of these project management softwares, right? So many project management don't feel that project management solution is necessary, for instance, for small projects. Now, the reason is because they argue that the complexity required in one, setting it up, the learning curve that it requires, so when you invest on all of those things for a small project, then where is the return on investment? So it doesn't make it doesn't give you good return on investment, for smaller project, that is. So to mitigate some of these challenges, now there are many cloud-based project management softwares that have tried to look into or take advantage of some of these issues associated with many of these on-prem project management tools, and they've addressed the problem. So some of the leading online project management solutions will include Active Collab, right? You can visit their website, activecollab.com. There's also Liquid Planner, right? Liquid Planner is also a project management software, an online project management software. By the way, their website is liquidplanner.com. So in your free time, you can also try to look this up. Maybe you can even make research on some other project management, online driven project management software. The essence here is not for me to walk you through how to also use project management. So we're just looking at the possibility, knowing the fact that the possibilities for some of these things exist, right? And as the cloud technologies, it's going to be your responsibility to know about these things and then to point your organization in the right direction. Yes, there might be a need for you to also train individuals, have people in your department who have the necessary skills when it comes to managing these things, right? But if you're looking to migrate some of these already on-prem solutions into the cloud, then you want to choose a solution for your organization, the best solution for your organization in the cloud, and help them migrate to the cloud seamlessly. So it doesn't mean that it has to be your sole responsibility to manage manage these tools per se, right? So next, let's talk video encoding services. So video marketing and training is now very popular industry, right? So businesses publish videos about their products and services on YouTube, for instance, many social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the rest, right? So these videos help businesses promote and provide training on the kind of services that they offer or on their products, right? So now, before these videos can be published, they need to be encoded, right? So encoding a video takes the video as recorded from a video camera, and then it converts it into a format that is compatible with most web browsers, right? Or web players, and then mobile devices. So that simply is what encoding is about. And we have services such as encoding.com. Let's look it up. Encoding.com. So there is also, while we're opening this, there is also zencoder.com. So as you can see, once you sign up with these providers, they are going to give you a number of tools that you can use to encode your videos, to better prepare your video so that it can be better consumed on the internet. You know, your videos, and I mean your users, your customers, your potential customers are not looking, you know, listening to your videos on the internet, and there's some kind of very huge noise coming from the background. You know, it gives you so many tools that you can leverage on. Another very good one is the one that I personally use here, which is Camtasia, right? Camtasia recording. So as you can see on the screen here, so once I record my video, I can push up my video to YouTube directly from Camtasia, or I can simply prepare the video for local use. I can store it locally on my computer and then start sharing it across different social media platform. Just as an example now, so I have this video that I've recorded. So if I need to push it up to YouTube, I'll click on the share button here, and as you can see, I can share it up to YouTube. I can put it in my Google Drive. I can share it with some of these other social networking platform. I simply can have it prepared locally, you know, as a local file. I'll click on local file. Let's see how this is done. Click on next, and then you have this wizard walk you through the rest of the process. So as you can see here, you can make this video available in a number of formats, right? Do you want to make it available in MP4 format or Windows Media Player format, AVI, you know, so you get the picture here. All right, so this is what I want to show you about video encoding, right? So in your leisure time, try to, you know, compare these two vendors, and if you find a need for your organization to prepare some very nice looking videos, you know, for use on social media, then you can leverage on the numerous tools that you know, these two different vendors, you know, provide to you. All right, so in wrapping up, I'm going to be leaving you with two questions, right? Two reflective questions here. For a SaaS application that your organization use, how did the business model benefit, you know, from moving to the SaaS application, right? So how was your business able to benefit from moving to a SaaS application, and what was it like before you made that switch, you know, before you considered moving to a cloud application? So just reflect over it, you know, to really view, you know, to really be able to appreciate the advantages that you know, this cloud SaaS application gives to you, right? And two, have you seen in this lesson, you know, all the different tools, all the different small business SaaS, software as a service application that we've looked at so far? Have you seen anyone that will be a good fit, you know, for your organization? You know, so try to reflect you know, upon this. So if you view the video, so you can try to play back the video, look through the different applications the different SaaS applications that we've talked about, and see if there's anyone that you can, you know, leverage on for your business or for your organization in general. So that is all we're going to be covering in this particular lesson. So I hope that it's been very informative for you, and thank you very much for viewing. So I'll see you next in module 9.